If you have a job right now, this is the safest time to start a personal brand on LinkedIn. Not to become an influencer, not to gain a bunch of followers, not even to post content every day, but so that you don't have to rely on one employer for one income for the rest of your life. Because look at how the world is right now. Layoffs are happening every day. AI is taking over industries. You could wake up one day and be completely out of a job. And the fact that you might have a family to take care of, bills to pay, you do not want to put yourself in that position. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can take your years of corporate experience and the skills you've built and package it into a scalable asset so that you don't have to rely on one income for the rest of your life. In fact, a lot of people are actually replacing their corporate salary by building a personal brand on LinkedIn. Now, I know you might be thinking, I don't have a following on LinkedIn. Will people actually even want to buy what I'm selling? Do I even have time for this? Those things only become problems if you build your personal brand the wrong way on LinkedIn. This method that I'm about to teach is specifically for corporate professionals that only have an hour or two a day to give to this. So here's what I'm going to cover right now. Number one, the two big unfair advantages you have to build your personal brand on LinkedIn while you're still working in corporate. Number two, the math of how you're actually going to replace your corporate salary while building your personal brand on LinkedIn. And number three, why you do not need a single follower to make this work because of the one change LinkedIn made to its algorithm this year. Now, if you want to implement this properly, I've put together a free playbook on how to package your corporate experience into an offer that you can scale to a 20 to 30K per month business on LinkedIn. To get access to that, just comment the words LinkedIn strategy down below and I will personally send it over to you. Okay, now let's get into this. Advantage number one, your job is paying you to build this asset. Every problem you fix at work, every system you upgrade, all of that is corporate experience that people would pay a lot of money to learn. People want to know, how did you land this job? When you did land this job, how did you perform at the level you did? Once you can package that into an offer, people will happily pay you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to learn how you did it. The important part is knowing how to generate demand for this offer, because there's a difference between interest and respect and demand. Interest and respect is what you're going to get right off the bat. Your years of experience, your corporate background, you already have the respect. And when you put yourself out on LinkedIn, people will respect you. They're going to like your post, they might comment, they might engage, but that does not necessarily mean they're going to want to buy from you. What you need to learn is the skill of generating demand through the activity you do on LinkedIn. So if you've been feeling like, yes, there is something you could actually sell on LinkedIn, but you don't know how, great. But do not make the mistake of trying to get another certification or learning something like of that nature. What you need to learn is very specifically how to get buyers from LinkedIn. That skill alone has the potential to allow you to leave corporate forever and never look back. Okay, so let me show you how this works in practice. This right here is Deepika Sandhu. Deepika was a partner at an accounting firm in California, and she was a mother to her daughter. So her time, as you could imagine, was very filled, right? She had to take care of all of her work stuff and raise her daughter. Yet she wanted to start a life coaching business for corporate professionals on LinkedIn. She launched this offer, and then she came to me and said, hey, Sarim, listen, I only got a couple hours a day. Obviously, my time is very much dedicated to my job and my children. I need to know how to make this work. We implemented the right system based on her hours available, and the result, her first 10K month, then she grew it to a $50,000 per month coaching business. After that, she left her corporate job. She said, listen, I've grown this to the point where now I'm ready to go. Left her job, and now she's doing this full time. Now notice the order. She didn't just quit her job and go all in on her business. No, she did steps. She decided, okay, I want to launch this business. Got it. I'm going to learn what I need to do to get there. I'm going to get my business off the ground. And then once it was off the ground and rolling and she had evidence, then she decided, okay, it's time for me to leave my corporate job and go all in on my coaching business. And this is exactly the information in the free playbook that I'm giving out. I'm going to show you how to take your corporate expertise and turn that into a scalable offer you can start immediately selling on LinkedIn, and the steps of what you need to do in between. So again, to get access to that training, just comment the words LinkedIn strategy strategy down below and I will personally deliver it to you. Advantage number 2, your job lets you build this business properly. The number one reason businesses die, especially coaching businesses, is because of desperation. People get to the point where they're like, oh, I need to make a sale, I need to make a sale. And what do? They end up lowering their prices. They end up working with clients that they shouldn't be working with. And then it just becomes this mess and they're like, oh, forget this. I gotta go back to corporate, get my life back. When in reality, now that you're still in a job, this is the perfect time because you have your job that's bringing you the steady paycheck, so it gives you that peace of mind, and then you can actually still build your coaching business on the side, just like Deepika did, just like a lot of other people have done. Now, here's something very important. You need to be confident in the price that you are selling at on LinkedIn. The best offers are the ones that are priced based on result, not by the hour. When you charge by hour, the only thing that people are thinking is, oh, I'm paying this person $200 an hour, and it's always gonna be a race to the bottom. Whereas when you price by result, the mindset of the buyer is completely changed. They start thinking like, oh, okay. For example, let's say you're a career coach and you help someone go from an $80,000 job to a $200,000 per year job. That's a $120,000 increase. For you to ask for $5,000 to coach them on how to get that promotion, that's less than 5%. Of course, they're gonna think to themselves, yeah, that's worth it. That's a decision I'm willing to take. Go from 80K to 200, pay you 5K. You know how to get there. You've done it for yourself before. You landed this role. Of course, it's a reasonable decision. Now, let's talk about the math and how you're gonna replace your corporate salary. Well, now imagine you're selling those $5,000 packages. If you were selling one of those per week, that's $5,000 a week times 4 weeks in a month, that's $20,000 per month you're making. Now, let's say you have a fraction of the time available and you're only able to hit half of that. You're still making an extra $10K per month running this business on the side. That's an extra $120K per year for you. This is also why low ticket products would never work. Imagine you're trying to sell an ebook on LinkedIn for $50. You would need 400 sales to make $20,000 per month. So what would you rather? 400 people trying to buy from you or 4 people signing up for one-on-one coaching with you every single month? What's easier to manage, 400 people or 4? This is why building your personal brand and selling a high ticket coaching package is the smartest thing you can do while you're still working in corporate. It gives you the freedom to hit those high income numbers and replace your corporate salary while also being able to do so within the limited time frame that you have. And also, this is why you don't need a huge following on LinkedIn. Let's say you only have 500 followers on LinkedIn, right? You've never really grown your personal brand. It's just a bunch of ex-colleagues, maybe family and friends. Getting one person to say yes to you per week is 0.2% of your audience. Okay, so now you might be thinking, great, the math checks out, but I don't have any experience. I've never sold anything on the internet before. Take a look at this guy right here. This is Jason Lum, and he is a 21-year-old career coach. Jason had no prior experience to selling anything on the internet before. What he did was he went to a mid-tier university in Canada, yet he landed a management consulting internship. When his internship finished, he came back and he said, I noticed that there were not a lot of people from mid-tier schools who ended up getting these kind of management consulting jobs. I want to start a career coaching program helping students from all over learn how to get management consulting jobs. He spoke with me, he said, can I do this? I said, absolutely. So with no prior experience, not even real work experience, he put this offer out on LinkedIn and then boom, within his second month, he made $20,000. So you don't need massive amount of experience. You don't need all these client results. You are your proof. You have built yourself up in corporate. You don't almost give yourself enough credit for where you're at. People would pay you money to learn how you did what you did. Imagine, think about it. Don't you think you could help people fast track to get to where you are in your career? Don't you think there were a lot of mistakes, trials and errors that you had to go through that you could give that value to someone else so they wouldn't have to make all those mistakes? Of course, that's the stuff people would be happy to pay for. People love to pay for acceleration. And if you can help someone do that in their career, in their finance, in their health, in their relationships, they will jump on board. The rule is simple. Sell the result you've already gotten for yourself. So now you know what to sell, and you know that it's going to take about 4 clients per month. But the most important question is, how do you do it? And this is where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn has some unfair advantages over every other social media platform on the internet today. For example, did you know that 45% of LinkedIn users in the United States have an income of $70,000 per year or more? Compare that to Instagram or TikTok, where it's less than $7,000 per year. The amount of money on LinkedIn, the amount of people who are financially qualified, eager to actually get help, is sky high on LinkedIn versus any other platform. So think about it. Those people on LinkedIn can actually afford your $5,000 program. And the best part, LinkedIn does the prospecting for you. LinkedIn actually goes out, finds the buyers that you're trying to target, and puts them in front of you. That is the beauty of the new LinkedIn algorithms that have just been released. So the way LinkedIn works is they decided, okay, we're not here to distribute hundreds of thousands of views. We want to be far more targeted because we know people are trying to do business on LinkedIn. So instead of giving you 100,000 views per post, the way the new LinkedIn algorithms work is they decide, okay, first of all, you tell them, who are you targeting? Who are you trying to go after and what's the message you're trying to send? For example, after scanning your LinkedIn profile and your LinkedIn content, the algorithms may determine, okay, you are trying to target mid-level tech professionals in the United States. What are they going to do? They're going to show your content to those specific people. So yes, you may not get 100,000 views on a post. You may only get 200 impressions on a post. But guess what? Those 200 impressions are going to be highly targeted. And if your messaging is straight and you actually have a real client acquisition system put in place, it's going to be quite a smooth journey to turn that curious stranger into a paying client. And this all goes back. Remember, we're only looking for one person to say yes per week. If you get one person saying yes per week, that's $5,000 a week, that's $20K per month. If you blow half the month and you get super busy and you only get 2 clients, that's still $10K a month. That's still $120K a year. All while you're still working your corporate job. And I'll show you, even with my LinkedIn account, I have generated over $2 million for my coaching business completely organic on LinkedIn. And most of my posts on LinkedIn don't get more than 10, 15 likes. Why? Because I'm hyper targeted on who I want to target, on who I want to focus on with my content. And LinkedIn, naturally, we have this symbiotic relationship. LinkedIn's like, all right, you make content for this specific group of people and we will show it to them. Same goes for you. This is why the number one thing is you cannot be broad. Be specific on who you're targeting, and LinkedIn will make your wildest dreams come true, quite literally. This is the name of the game on LinkedIn. It's not about how many people see you. It's about who is seeing you. And this is why being broad on LinkedIn is not just bad for your business, it's fatal. Think about it. If the AI does not know who to show your content to, who to show your profile to, well, then it's going to just show it to random people. And then random people are not going to become your buyers. You want predictability. Predictability comes from specificity. Okay, so I want you to meet someone here. This is Amy Hendrickson. Amy used to work at a big book publishing company, and without any real notice, she ended up getting laid off. So she spoke to me and she said, hey, listen, I want to start a book writing coaching business, meaning I want to help people write the manuscript for their book so that they can publish it and get it out there. I said, okay, great. She knew exactly what she wanted to offer. She knew exactly who she wanted to help. And then boom, we put in a real actual client acquisition system in place for her. And what was the result? $10,000 in her second month as a book writing coach. And the craziest part, she only had 900 followers on LinkedIn at the time. So small audience, yet she's making 6 figures. Why? Specificity. She knew exactly who she wanted to work with, and she knew the exact results she could deliver them. Okay, so now let's bring it back to you, because you already have the ingredients on the table. You have your years of corporate experience, maybe decades. You have the paycheck right now keeping you afloat. What you need is to build out the offer and put yourself out there with the right client acquisition system and get 4 people to say yes to you per month. Remember, 4 yeses a month at a 5K offer, 20K per month. That is a reality you can have for yourself. And that's it. That's the whole thing. And it's not just about replacing your corporate income. It's about having the freedom of options to decide what you want to do with your life. And when you have your personal brand built out, when you're actually selling something successfully on LinkedIn, you have the freedom. You have time freedom, you have financial freedom, you have location freedom. You can spend more time with your family, you can travel, you can do what you want to do on your terms. So the question is not whether you can do this. We know you can. The question is when. Are you going to do this now while you're in a position of security? Or are you going to do this when a potential layoff happens? You have to make that call. I always say, build a business around the life you want, not the other way around. So if you want the step-by-step version on everything we covered today, on how you can start taking action on LinkedIn, on how you can package your corporate experience into an actual offer that you can put onto LinkedIn, and what activities to do, you can download my playbook. You can do so by just, again, commenting the words LinkedIn strategy down below in the comments, and I will personally deliver it to you. And if you want to keep going down the rabbit hole of how you can turn your personal brand on LinkedIn into a profitable asset, I have this other video here on how to get 3 to 5 buyers from LinkedIn. It's a full 1-hour training. You can watch that here. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.